Right, rescue efforts are ongoing along the Florida coastline even as we speak. Joining us now is Rob Godet, founder of the nonprofit Cajun Navy. His team goes in after these natural disasters to help rescue people, and they don't leave after that. They stay and help people get back on their feet. Rob, good to have you back on the program this morning. Tell me about some of the rescues and the operations that you all still have underway at this hour.
Right. We have folks that are landlocked. There's no roads in, which means that, you can't just run and pick up supplies or food. So what we're doing is coordinating delivery of those items. We're working with partners like Operation Barbecue Relief, where we received 5,000 plates of barbecue yesterday, and we sent it to, I believe it was Pine Island. So we're doing things like that with boats and distributing them throughout the communities that need them, that are just basically can't get to land right now.
This might be a bigger question, a bigger picture question, Rob, but are these people choosing to stay in a place that is clearly uninhabitable in so many areas? Is there an option for them to get off the island and go into some of these temporary shelters?
People, they want to repair their homes. People did leave, and now they're wanting to go back and work on their homes, which is understandable. You're not going to sit in a shelter while if the weather's beautiful here, why not go and work on your home? So a lot of this is people that are going back to work on their properties, clean them up. A lot of the areas are still habitable. I wouldn't say a lot, but some are. There's some obviously completely devastated. There's a range in between. So it just makes sense. If it's a neighborhood, they don't just sit in a shelter while their house is sitting there with repair needs. These are folks that are needing to go to their home for various purposes, retrieve valuables, look for lost pets, do insurance pictures. There's a lot of reasons that people need to be on their homes right now on those islands, and we're providing the things that they need to do that, including the transportation for those individuals and the food while they're out there working, water, support. We're sending tools. We're sending garbage bags. They need everything that any other neighborhood needs. They just need to get there by boat.
Understandable. Yeah, Rob, I'd be doing the same thing. Your home is your castle. It's where you live. It's where you the people you love. Yeah, no, I hear you.
It's your safe place, and you need your safe place now more than ever.
Yeah. When we talk about these rescue and recovery efforts, how much have you still not been able to get to check on people as we are just shy of a week from the storm moving through? Are there areas that are still not accessible, that people are still searching for survivors?
I think most of the important areas have been accessed. What's happening, though, is, some taller buildings on the islands are being, we're hearing from people that, elderly who usually have somebody to support them. We're hearing from their support network saying, hey, I haven't heard from such and such. Can you go check on them? And so there's always these little pockets where people, every home hasn't been checked. Every building, every room in every building has not been checked. So people still are kind of appearing. It's usually, honestly, it's the most vulnerable, which is what we have a heart for. It's the elderly who, they're not so great with technology, or the cell coverage has been out, and they're just now getting cell coverage, and they're reaching out.
Yeah. How much of a game changer, Rob, will it be? The governor is anticipating that the bridge, the causeway connecting the islands to the mainland, will be complete by Saturday, potentially. How big of a difference will that make if that does happen in that amount of time?
Everybody's shaking their head saying it cannot be done, but you know what? It just goes to show the importance of that bridge that we were asked by a local, a statewide official, actually, how we could organize a flotilla of boats to go and send stuff back and forth until they get the bridge built. I think that bridge is a huge priority. It's a game changer. It really is. You can send, instead of sending a barge full of stuff, you send an 18-wheel of stuff. When the barge lands, how do you get it from the barge to the people that need it? You got to have hands there doing it. And they have to be vetted. They have to, there has to be a lot of trust, because you could go into neighborhoods that are damaged and looting could be a problem. Like, it's a huge logistical nightmare to not be able to just drive to where you need to go, and that's what we're trying to fix.
Well, and we've seen the power outage numbers go way down from 2.5 million now to like 430,000 or so. What's the status of communication and the power in a lot of these areas that we're seeing on our screen?
Thankfully, I will tell you, AT&T has been solid almost through the whole thing. We have AT&T FirstNet, which is a great first responder system, but power is a huge problem. Imagine living in your home with 80, 90-degree weather with no power and no water, because we were told this morning water is still, you're still under a boil advisory. I was told they're advised not even to bathe with it. It's a problem to live 10 days without food and water. And we're hearing maybe Saturday or Sunday, so it should all be up. But even then, it's still going to be spotty. It's never fixed all at once. And to have 400,000 people now is huge. They've already gone a week without it. And to go another week, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8 days is a problem. And what we're doing is providing food and water to those individuals, lots of it. Whatever they need, they can come to our Safe Camp North. We have 2 locations, Safe Camp North and North Fort Myers, in the Big Lots parking lot south, Safe Camp South, and the Walmart parking lot on San Carlos, right away, just away from the beach at Fort Myers.
Rob, the pictures are devastating, but I'm sure it doesn't even begin to compare to what it's like to see this in person. You were there in Louisiana, in your home state, in 2021 after Hurricane Ida. How does what you're seeing from Hurricane Ian compare at all to what you've been through?
I will tell you, this is our 3rd one, because we had Hurricane Laura in 2020. My hometown of Lake Charles was devastated. 10,000 properties were eliminated, and there's only 90,000 in the whole community. And then Hurricane Ida a year later, and now this is the 3rd one, literally 3 years in a row, the 3 worst hurricanes in recent history. There are a lot of older properties along the Gulf Coast of Louisiana than there are here. The devastation there, I'm just going to be frank, it was unbelievable. 100, out of 200 homes in one neighborhood right along the coast, only 12 were left standing, and you couldn't even live in them. Look, every person that it goes through this, it's a trauma. It's almost, we got to think lower. Think about this. It's not a top-down effort. Like, it's a bottom-up. We need to be supporting these individuals individually. I can't tell you how many, elderly women that we go, they're in their twilight years. They've paid their dues to society. They've had their kids, raised them well. Now they need help. They need help. And that's what we do. We bring that help to them. And our goal, one word, stabilize. That's what we want to do from day one, and we'll be here as long as we can. Yeah,
in for the long haul. A lot of heavy lifting physically and mentally. Rob Godet with the Cajun Navy. Thanks for what you're doing. Be safe out there as you guys continue to assist and support so many in need. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.